So with the prices of property in Australia seemingly increasing all the time, especially at the bottom end, which is touted to be the entry-level first home buyer demographic, being the most competitive areas in every state you look at due to investor and downsizer demand as well at that price point. What's the average first home buyer supposed to do? That's what we're going to be hopefully dowering through, relevant to the Perth market, but Australia as a whole today. Now I have just finished the gym, so bear with me for one moment. Dog sitting at the moment, so got to play fetch. He's an apartment dog, so he's back there. He's still in the shot, just. So, the big question I'm getting a lot at the moment is on the buyer side of things. Not really relevant to investors that are using like equity releases or buying their second, third, fourth, fifth properties. It's first home buyers, pretty much anyone, whether they're single or in a couple, sub 35. Generally, the ages I'm dealing with are like at a stretch 25 to maybe 34, but predominantly that sort of scope is the main people I'm dealing with. If you're seeing this video, you're probably seeing a couple of things in the media because that's how hopefully the algorithms work. If you're seeing this one, you're probably watching other videos about property ownership and financial investment on the property side. Is what, like, if the cost of an entry-level home, if you're taking away all the government grants and some of the stamp duty exemptions state by state, and again, if you're here, you probably roughly know how that correlates to your state individually in Australia. But a lot of the media, and it's pretty accurate as well, the median values of most regional cities, capital cities, and states are, loosely speaking, unrealistic for the average first home buyer to make on the average salaries that they're on. So you'll see a lot of other people that come at property ownership and investment tout different avenues such as rent vesting, having the bank of mum and dad help out with the first purchase, either via guarantor or some form of healthy deposit, or assistance to live at the home whilst they purchase a investment property, and then use the equity or resale value of that home 12 to 24 months down the line to then purchase their first home to live in. All those sort of things, again, it's a big blanket sort of sphere. You might fit under one of those brackets, and if you're watching this going, well, what's the actual best play? There is no real best play as the short answer goes, but there is a play specific to you that will generally work. I do have a small little group that's growing at the moment, pretty much going through like making property fun, called the Property Playground. Essentially, whatever avenue of property you're sort of going in, it's just a cool little group because I don't think there's too much stuff out there. There's content, there's videos, but there's not actually people that are doing the exact thing that you're doing that you can just sort of go, like, there are Facebook groups out there as well, but you'll sort of post and you'll get people's opinions, but you don't know if they're like in the same realm as you. Again, everyone's in a unique situation, but on the loose spectrum of it, some of the advice is either from the top looking down, so people that are already well made on property investment side of things going, if I was starting again, this is what I would do. And they're coming at it from the lens of, well, I'm already sort of set. I have my multiple properties, but this is what I would do. There's a little bit of element of privilege with that advice as well, or tinted glass effect that, again, I don't think it's completely wrong, some of the stuff these people say, but equally it's detached from elements of reality, especially if you're talking directly to the people that don't have the capabilities. Come here. Feature on the channel, big cheese. So yeah, like what's up? You wanna give some advice about property to the people? No, he's camera shy. Sorry, you can stay here for a little bit whilst we talk. Or do you want to go out here? What's happening? Well, there's a window out there, so he probably looking something out there. Anyway, he'll be a bit distracting. Probably should throw the ball once more time. Give me a second. Yeah. Okay. I'll keep this as accurate as I can feel from here. This is my main job day by day, is helping out on the residential sales side for people that are looking to sell. Obviously, I assist with where they're looking to move, whether it's upsize, downsize, sell off an investment property, things of that nature. I take a added interest in what their next move is, not just focusing on getting the best purchase price on their end from a real estate sales perspective. It's okay, well, what then does that leverage us into doing? What's your next goal from this sale? Because it's all well and good to talk about how much your value's grown, purchase price, etc., on all of those things. But what's the net profit that you're going to get after all closings are done and all investments are taken care of? And then what's that going to lead you to do, and what's that going to position you in to go to from there? But before there is a decision to sell a property, there's a lot of people on the first scope of things that I meet at the opens that are, okay, we know it's a competitive market. We're a first home buyer couple. We're a first home buyer single. I've got assistance from mum and dad to help purchase, but there's investors looking in the price points of 450, if that's still around at the moment. There is pockets in Perth that do allow that, up to about 600, 650, 700. As soon as it gets slightly above that, I don't tend to see the first home buyers in that scope as much, unless they've been over a good amount window, dink sort of couple, been saving up a real healthy deposit to then be competitive in that market. And if that does apply to you, that is a good position to be in, because it's a less competitive market above the median value of whatever area it is you're looking at. But largely speaking, that doesn't apply to the average and the overall first home buyer demographic. They're looking for the entry-level home to get into. House and land packages can sometimes be great, but there's no guarantee or certainty on those things anymore. Established homes with a decent amount of block that can obviously leverage into good amount of growth long term to then allow you to resell that property and move on to the next home for kids and everything else as well that comes with just getting older and being in the property game for a longer period of time. There will be the discussions of, okay, getting into the rent vesting. Hey, calm down, come on. There will be getting into the elements of like rent vesting, and people chat about that of like, okay, go into these regional areas, find a good property manager, get your little deposit together, like to get part of the first homeowner grant, maybe just completely forget about them if it allows you to get into a home and all that sort of stuff. Again, different scope for a different form of conversation. But to sort of circle back, because I'm trying to drop a lot here, just to essentially, if you're watching this video, just to sort of go, okay, am I in a position that I'm looking to maybe make a first home purchase? There's not a lot of great like content out there. The ones that do give advice are sometimes coming from rose-tinted glasses, or they don't really understand the overall situation that I'm personally in, I as being you, the viewer of this video. And then you're sort of going, well, is there like a community that I can sort of speak to and find out about and actually understand my unique situation, and then go, okay, can I leverage that into something? Does rent vesting make the most sense? Does renting in a shared housing situation and save up a slightly bigger deposit make sense? Generally not. Does moving back in with parents, if that's an option, work? Does going abroad for 2 years into Bali or places of that nature and have a lower cost of living and have a work from home situation, work from abroad situation, and be nomadic for a couple of years to save up a healthy deposit to then come back to Australia and purchase something like that in a few years' time? It makes sense. Again, there's all good avenues, good options for people to look at. There's definitely no incorrect answer because it's always relevant to you, but that's the scope of what this video sort of is. If you have stuck around till the end with me and Big Cheese, he's not interested in the ball anymore, he's heading out. See you, mate. That's a good end to probably, if he's leaving, that means the video should be done. Again, I've just finished the gym session, so apologies for being a little bit, he's coming back, is he? No. I've just finished the gym session. If there is anything that's if there's like quarter line from this that's priced up, relevant to the Perth market, but obviously Australia abroad, drop a comment down below. Would love to hear any engagement that you have, question about it. There will be a link in here as well that does have a private invite to a small little community that's growing, that's essentially just trying to help people, whatever their situation is unique to them, to then create a community around that, to then pair you up with people that are in similar positions to you to bounce ideas off, but then people that are just slightly either ahead of you or behind you, because that's a good thing about a community, is you can then give advice back to people and go, hey, this is what works for me, this is a red flag that I wanted to avoid, this and that. And hopefully over a shorter period of time, it will grow up to be like a trusted sort of community that has tailored, unique advice that sort of helps you. So if you're interested in that, that's a link there. Again, no obligation on that side of things. If there's just a specific question that you've had from watching this video that you'd like to know, link, or actually probably better to make a comment under the YouTube video for this one. Yeah, that's wrapping me up. Again, how you do an outro on YouTube is a bit hit and miss, but again, I'll probably just cut out right